For the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, the recent industrial action by workers was nothing but a misunderstanding, reacting to the truce reached with FCT workers that led to the suspension of a planned protest by labor unions. Nyesom Wike said there are no winners nor losers. The minister expressed delight that the union leaders have seen the realities on the ground, which has helped clear misconceptions about workers' welfare in the FCT. I mean, talk to me. The FCT minister said no winner, no losers, but over the truce reached. But what's your interpretation of this?
Honestly, no win. I thought they said that during wars.
No, but it was a serious disagreement.
I thought it was a labor disagreement. So it shows, for me, the interpretation means that probably the disagreement we saw was bigger than misunderstanding between labor and the government. Because if the minister could say no winner, no loser, well, anyway, we are glad that the whole thing has ended, and for me, a lot of money was lost while this thing lasted.
Okay.
Because practically all activities in the Federal Capital Territory, as per the Federal Capital Development Territory, FCDA and the rest, FCTA, yes, they were, they came to a halt, and it means that those who wanted to process land documents, those who wanted to do anything with the FCTA, practically you couldn't do anything. So it's good that both parties are now on the path of peace. And but then, why did we have to get to this point?
Absolutely.
Because if the workers are just understanding certain misconception about what they think should be part of their welfare, it means there was practically a communication gap between the minister
and the labor,
which shouldn't have been, because if there was proper communication, I think the workers should have known what was on ground. And well, anyway, the good news right now is that the minister has said that no worker will be victimized over this strike.
Yeah, that's very, very key.
And that is very, very key, because if there is any form of victimization again, we can still go back and all of that. So I think it's good that both parties, at least we can now
that's our relief.
Yes. So.
Absolutely. All right, Mike, I'll come to you. I mean, when the FCT minister said no winners, no losers, is this an attempt to de-escalate the tension, or, just to control the political narratives?
No, I think generally the minister was making the point that, look, this is a mere storm in a teacup. If Nyesom Wike is someone often misunderstood, but when you look at this matter holistically, he was talking about some facts that were not known to the workers who were on strike, but that when these issues were explained to their leaders, it was not difficult for them to agree with the minister. Don't forget, that meeting was held in the minister's house. So that's already a very friendly symbolism, that because if they were so mad with him, they wouldn't even want to hold a meeting in his place. And before then, many of the workers had already returned to work. So it was a good place to even begin to talk. The workers, we look at some of the demands. The workers wanted the arrears of the 35,000 naira wage awards paid at once. FCT was owing 5 months in arrears. 2 months were paid in December and January, meaning that they have 3 months to pay. And the entire arrears is about 5 billion naira. So the minister simply said, look, it's difficult for us to pay at once. And let's face it, many of the states are even owing these arrears. Even the federal government is owing this wage award arrears, if we check. So to him, it wasn't such a strange thing that he was owing. And he said, look, I will be able to pay everything. Each month we will pay. And in no time, in 3 months' time, this whole thing will have cleared the whole thing. So, yes, so he did not agree that this money should be paid at once because he felt that it was high. Then the matter of their promotion arrears, he also reminded their leaders that he approved the sum of 281.1 million in December. So it's not as if some of those issues were not being addressed.
Okay.
So I think this was one of the key reasons why the labor leaders felt, look, we need to slow down on this matter. And then there was also the matter of extension of service for people who are on the verge of retiring. They were also, it was also one of the issues for which they came up with the idea of going on strike. And the minister said, see, I am in support of you guys. I don't think anybody who is due to retire should have an extension, should stay 1 day extra. So you can see that another area of disagreement had been addressed because the minister too does not believe that those people should be allowed to stay, because what that means is that it stops other people from growing.
Exactly.
I also do not support it. So the minister says, look, I'm in agreement with you that we don't need to extend either for 6 months or for any time, whatever. So then they also complained that there was a plot of land which was to be used as their garden, Joak garden. But the minister said, see, somebody already had a CFO, because they accused the minister of revoking their piece of land. And the minister said, look, somebody already has a CFO issued on the 28th of October 2019 by the former FCT minister on the title deed on that land. So it's not like it is cast in stone that it belongs to you. Somebody has the CFO already. And it wasn't he, Wike, that issued it. It was the immediate past minister of FCT, Sani Bello, that issued it on the 28th of October 2019. So that has to be addressed. So it's like, at the end of the day, those accusing Wike of revoking a piece of land meant to be used as a garden for workers, they now saw that it is true that this somebody else had the CFO for that piece of land. I think one of the biggest issues for which they were not happy, as I round up, is the matter of stopping the approval thresholds.
Okay.
So persons like directors, executive secretaries, top managers at FCT used to be allowed to give approvals for payment, little payments here and there. And the minister inherited about 12 billion naira as a result of that, which he cleared. By May 2025, the indebtedness arising from these little approvals that these senior public servants give for contractors and all that rose again to about 15 billion. So Nyesom Wike then decided that no more.
Okay.
Everything must come to me as a minister. because as far as he's concerned, he can't continue to look for money to clear those indebtedness. Of course, when you do this to civil servants, you stop them from being able to give approvals for money for contractors to be paid some little stipend here and there. They can't be happy. So it was a major issue for which they had to confront him. But at the end of the day, these issues were resolved because he was able to explain to the labor leaders that, look, these matters are not as bad as they've been presented. And some of the matters had already even been addressed or being addressed by me. So when the Folutile talks about communication, I believe that they dropped the ball. The management, led by the minister, dropped the ball in that area, because if these old matters had been communicated in the way the minister had handled them, I don't think anybody would have wanted to go on strike, because you are not going to get support.
Absolutely.
If they realize that, okay, he's paying, it's not as if he's not paying the wage arrears, he's paying them every month. And in 3 months, everything will be cleared.
Okay.
And if you can show that, yes, you paid in December, then you paid in January again. So some of those issues, I mean, nobody would be bringing up those issues. So, but communication was not good enough. And then some of them acted because they felt certain steps were not being taken to address their grievances. But now, even Labour admitted that all of their grievances have been addressed. So, and that explains why they told their people to go back to work, and everyone is happy again.
Okay, just before we go straight to our next topic, I want to ask, like, is the FCTA ready to ensure that all the promises made, you know, during this agreement, the truce, and will be, you know, will be implemented in practice? Actually,
if you look at all the agreements as VKO enumerated them, I don't think they are difficult things to implement.
Yes.
They are not really a big deal. Probably the one that could be a big deal was the approval level that was removed. And of course, the reason for removing it is also obvious. And I also think that the workers have no choice than to understand, because the majority of right-thinking people, like the lawyers will say, will agree that it will not be justifiable for some officers to keep accumulating debts on behalf of the state, simply because you give them the approval right. So aside that, in terms of the outstanding allowances, which is already being paid, I think, and FCT has enough money to actually pay the workers. The good news is that even the minister is generating money internally more than the previous FCT ministers. For example, the new renovated hall that the minister did, I think it's going for about 70-something million per hire, which used to be 6 million naira. He also said it, and all of that. So if the territory is generating money, and he has already made good his promise by paying December and January, doing the 3 months shouldn't be a problem. And in terms of other welfare packages, I think there are things that could be done. So I don't really see any issue in implementing these things. And if there is anything, I think if they communicate.
The communication.
I think.
BKO, I need just your final thoughts on this matter before we move to a straight.
Yes, you know, they accuse the minister of not putting greater accent on their welfare. And the minister said he promoted 2,000 workers in the month of December. That things have changed now. You have to do a promotion exam for you to get promoted. The computer will mark you. It's not a situation like before when you have to know someone before you can get promoted. once there is a vacancy, and they also complain that so many people failed. You know, people will fail when many of them don't even know how to use computer. People will fail when many of them can't even operate the computer. So it's understandable. So I think that it is in the interest of everyone for the communication to continue.
Absolutely.
For me, I didn't even know that he promoted that
2,000.
number of people in December. So they need to continue to communicate so that we can have industrial harmony.
Absolutely.